Most Linux distributions make you wait. A new version drops every year or two, you back everything up, run the upgrade, and hope nothing breaks. Rolling release distributions skip all of that. There is no version number, no major upgrade day. Software just updates continuously, and your system is always current. But here is the thing nobody mentions up front. These 4 distributions all call themselves rolling release, and they could not be more different in how they do it. One is backed by a major enterprise company and runs automated testing on every single update before it reaches you. Another was built from scratch by one developer who then walked away from the project entirely. A third refuses to ship anything that is not built with a single toolkit. And the fourth still runs without systemd, the software most modern Linux distributions depend on. Same label. Completely different philosophies. openSUSE. Tumbleweed is sponsored by SUSE, the German enterprise software company headquartered in Nuremberg. SUSE has been in the Linux business since 1992, making them one of the oldest players in the industry. Tumbleweed launched in 2014 as their rolling release option alongside Leap, their traditional stable version. The relationship between the two mirrors how Fedora feeds into Red Hat. Tumbleweed innovates, Leap stabilizes, and the enterprise product benefits from both. What makes Tumbleweed unusual is how seriously it takes stability for a rolling distribution. Every package goes through a development repository called Factory First. A daily snapshot gets created from Factory and then fed into an automated testing system called openQA. openQA runs installation tests, checks desktop functionality, detects package conflicts, and verifies dependency resolution across multiple hardware architectures. Only snapshots that pass the full battery of tests actually reach users. That means you get frequent updates, sometimes daily, but each one has been verified before it lands on your machine. Tumbleweed also ships with the Btrfs file system by default. It takes automatic snapshots before every system update. If something goes wrong, you reboot, pick a previous snapshot from the boot menu, and you are back to exactly where you were in seconds. It also includes YAST, a centralized configuration tool that handles everything from networking to firewall settings to disk partitioning in one place. Most distributions scatter those settings across dozens of separate tools. YAST puts them all under one roof. Tumbleweed ships with KDE Plasma as its flagship desktop, but also offers GNOME, XFCE, and several others. The Open Build service lets the community create and distribute their own packages with build verification, similar to how Arch has its user repository, but with an added layer of quality control. The trade-off is complexity. Tumbleweed is not aimed at beginners. The learning curve is steep, and if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, frequent kernel updates can cause friction with proprietary drivers. Solus takes the opposite approach to almost everything Tumbleweed does. It is not based on any other distribution, not Debian, not Arch, not anything. The entire operating system was built from the ground up as a dedicated desktop system by a developer called Ike Doherty. He originally launched it under the name EvolveOS back in 2015. Solus created its own desktop environment called Budgie. It has since been adopted by other distributions as well. It is clean, modern, designed around productivity rather than deep customization. But Budgie is not the only option. Solus also offers additions with GNOME, KDE Plasma, and other desktops for users who prefer something different. The distribution has its own package manager called EOPKG, its own repositories, its own update schedule, where Tumbleweed pushes updates as soon as they pass automated testing. Solus takes a curated approach, releasing batches every 1 to 2 weeks after manual review. It is rolling, but at a walking pace rather than a sprint. The elephant in the room is that Ike Doherty stepped away from the project. Solus is now community maintained. Development continues. The dedicated user base keeps it alive. But it is a noticeably smaller operation than it once was. The software repository is more limited than mainstream distributions, which means you might not always find niche tools in the official sources. For home and office desktop use, though, the essentials are covered. Firefox, LibreOffice, Thunderbird, multimedia codecs, even Steam for gaming, all ship out of the box or through the official repositories. KaOS is a distribution built on a single conviction. If you are going to run KDE Plasma, you should run nothing but KDE Plasma. There is no GNOME option, no XFCE, no alternative desktops at all. Every application in the official repositories is built with the Qt toolkit, the same framework KDE itself uses. If a program uses the toolkit behind GNOME, it does not make it into the official sources. KaOS launched in 2013 as a completely independent project, built from scratch like Solus. It uses the Pacman package manager, the same tool Arch Linux uses. But KaOS is not based on Arch. It borrows the tool while maintaining its own repositories and its own build system entirely. There is also a community package repository for anything outside the official selection, though it is considerably smaller than what you would find on a mainstream distribution. KaOS uses the Calamares installer, clean, easy to follow. It defaults to a different file system than the ext4 that most distributions ship with. The focus is narrow by design, 64-bit hardware only, one desktop environment, one toolkit. The argument is simple. By doing less, you can do it better. Everything integrates cleanly because everything is built with the same underlying technology. The community is small, but committed. If KDE Plasma is your desktop of choice, and you want the purest possible version of it, KaOS is built specifically for that purpose and nothing else. PCLinuxOS rounds out the group with one of the most unusual technical combinations in Linux. It uses the same package format that Red Hat and Fedora are built on. But instead of using their package managers, PCLinuxOS uses apt, the tool Debian and Ubuntu made famous, wrapped in a graphical front-end called Synaptic. It is one of the only distributions anywhere that pairs these two systems together. The project started in 2003 as a fork of Mandrake Linux, one of the early user-friendly distributions that eventually became Mandriva before the company behind it collapsed. PCLinuxOS is still led by its original creator, known online as Techstar. It has been rolling release since 2007, shipping continuous updates with no version numbers. PCLinuxOS also refuses to use systemd, the process management software nearly every other modern Linux distribution has adopted. It runs SysVinit instead, the traditional Unix-style startup system. That appeals to a specific crowd who prefer the older and simpler approach. It ships with NVIDIA proprietary drivers pre-installed, remarkably rare for a Linux distribution. It also includes remastering tools, letting you create a bootable copy of your current installation, useful for backups, recovery, or distributing a custom setup to other machines. The community forums are the heart of the project. Developers and packagers actively help users on a daily basis. It is not flashy. It is not trying to reinvent anything. It just keeps running the way it always has. And a loyal user base appreciates exactly that consistency. 4 rolling release distributions. 1 backed by enterprise money with automated testing. 1 built from scratch and now community run after its founder walked away. 1 obsessed with a single desktop environment to the exclusion of everything else. And 1 still doing things the old-fashioned way, without systemed, without a version number, and without any desire to change. Every choice is a trade-off. At least now you know what you're trading.